let's talk about the top 10 richest people in the world. Make sure you stay until the very end because we've saved the best for last. 10. Larry Ellison, $107 billion. Number 10 on our list today is 77-year-old Larry Ellison with a net worth of $107 billion. Wow, that's huge! Larry Ellison is a Hawaii-based software developer, a co-founder, CTO, and chair of Oracle, the first commercial relational database program to utilize structured query language. He owns 40% of the shares in Oracle, as well as a $15.5 billion worth of Tesla equity and $17.2 billion in cash. After he dropped out of the University of Chicago in 1966, Larry moved to California and worked as a computer programmer for various companies over the years. It was during one of these appointments at the electronics company Ampex in 1973 that he met with Ed Oates and Bob Miner, who later became a significant part of his journey. In 1977, he founded Software Development Laboratories, or SDL, alongside his partners Oates and Miner. 2 years later, Oracle was released. He joined Tesla's board in December of 2018. Oracle is currently the second largest software company and provides a wide variety of cloud computing programs as well as other software such as Java and Linux and the Oracle Exadata computing platform. It has also acquired several major companies and has grown remarkably through that. Before we move on to number 9, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and click the bell. That way, you'll be the first to see our next luxury video. 9. Steve Ballmer, $111 billion. Next up, we have 65-year-old Steve Ballmer, the owner of the Los Angeles Clippers. His present net worth is $111 billion, with a 4% Microsoft ownership stake, $2.63 billion private assets for Los Angeles Clippers, and $5.03 billion in cash. He currently resides in Washington. With 4% of Microsoft shares, Steve currently stands at the largest individual shareholder of the company. He joined Microsoft in 1980 as their 30th employee after he was convinced by Bill Gates to drop out of Stanford University's MBA program. During this time, he oversaw the 2011 purchase of Skype for $8.5 billion before he stepped down in 2014. 8. Warren Buffett, $117 billion. 91-year-old Warren Buffett comes next on our list. The Nebraska resident and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway is definitely having a swell time in his old age with a net worth of $117 billion. He owns 16% of Berkshire shares and $1.13 billion in cash. Widely known as the Oracle of Omaha, Buffett made the majority of his fortune through purchasing shares in companies with easily understandable business operations. As opposed to the majority of investors flocking into tech companies, he prefers to buy shares from well-established companies that are easier to understand, such as IBM and Apple. He is also a Bitcoin skeptic, so he probably doesn't subscribe to the decentralization agenda. Warren Buffett directs most of his wealth towards investing in philanthropic endeavors. He gave away $41 billion between 2006 and 2020, most of which either went to the Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation or his children's charities. He, alongside with Bill Gates, launched the Giving Pledge in 2010. 7. Sergey Brin, $119 billion. This 48-year-old billionaire is a co-founder and board member for Alphabet Inc., having 6% of the shares therein. His net worth is $119 billion, and he currently resides in California. After founding Alphabet in 2015, Brin acted as the holding company's president before stepping down in 2019 when Sundar Pichai took over as CEO. Alphabet operates through the Google and other bets segment. In addition to being the most popular search engine, Google also offers a suite of online tools and services known as Google Workspace. Google also deals in a variety of electronic devices, including its Pixel smartphones, Pixelbook computers and tablets, Nest smart home devices, and Stadia gaming platform. Sergey Brin has donated millions of dollars toward researching a cure for Parkinson's disease, and he also partnered with the Michael J. Fox Foundation to create new drugs against LRRK2, one of the greatest genetic contributors to the disease. 6. Mark Zuckerberg, $124 billion. You were probably wondering when we would get to him, and sure enough, here he is, Mark Zuckerberg, co-founder, CEO, and chair of Meta. He's a pretty young billionaire, aged 37, with a net worth of $124 billion. He has 13% Facebook ownership stake and $3.5 billion in cash. Mark Zuckerberg first developed Facebook, now Meta, alongside Eduardo Saverin, Dustin Moskovitz, and Chris Hughes, fellow students at Harvard University. This was back in 2004. As the usage of the website continued to expand, Zuckerberg dropped out of Harvard to focus on his business. Today, he stands as CEO and chair of Meta, which had more than 2.9 billion monthly active users as of Q3 2021. In 2015, Zuckerberg and his wife, Priscilla Chan, founded the Chan-Zuckerberg Initiative, where each of them serves as co-CEO. Their charity seeks to leverage technology to fix societal ills, such as improving the access and quality of education, reforming both the criminal justice system and the U.S. immigration system, improving housing affordability, and eradicating all diseases. 5. Larry Page, $124 billion. Next up, we have Larry Page, a 48-year-old California resident with a net worth of $124 billion. Similar to Brin, Larry is a co-founder and board member for Alphabet Inc. and has amassed $14.4 billion in cash. Larry's journey to fame and wealth started in a college dorm room while attending Stanford University in 1995. Larry Page and his friend Sergey Brin came up with the idea of improving data extraction capabilities while accessing the internet, and together devised a new type of search engine called Backrub. From there, they went on to found Google in 1998, with Larry serving as CEO until 2001. Larry Page is also a founding investor of Planetary Resources, a space exploration and asteroid mining company. It was originally established in 2009 before being acquired by a blockchain firm called Consensus 2018 amid funding challenges. The young billionaire also has an exceptional interest in flying car companies, having invested in both Kitty Hawk and Opener. 4. Bill Gates, $133 billion. The popular founder of the Microsoft Corporation, Bill Gates, is up next. Age 66 years, with a net worth of $133 billion, Bill Gates is ranked the 4th richest man on the earth. He resides in Washington, D.C. and was a student of Harvard University in 1975. During his education at Harvard, Bill went to work alongside his childhood friend Paul Allen to develop new software for the original microcomputers. The project's success moved Gates to drop out of school during his junior year and go on to found Microsoft with Allen, and he has been working at it with remarkable innovations since then. Microsoft stands as the largest software company in the world, but that's not all. The company also produces its line of personal computers, publishes books through Microsoft Press, provides email services through its Exchange server, and sells video game systems and associated peripheral devices. Bill Gates has a large percentage of his net worth wrapped up in Cascade Investment LLC, a privately held investment vehicle that owns a variety of stocks, including CNR, DE, and Republic Services, as well as private investments in real estate and energy. Bill Gates is the owner of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, of which he and his ex-wife are co-chairs. Through the foundation, he has spent billions to fight polio and malaria. He also pledged $50 million in 2014 to help fight Ebola. As of 2021, the foundation has spent more than $1.9 billion to combat the COVID-19 pandemic. 3. Bernard Arnault, $164 billion. Number 3 on the list is Bernard Arnault, a 72-year-old resident of Paris. He is CEO and chair, LVMH, and has a net worth of $164 billion. He has 97.5% of shares in Christian Dior, as well as other assets like Hermes equity and $11.2 billion in cash. LVMH is the world's largest luxury goods company, owning some of the biggest brands on earth, including Louis Vuitton, Hennessy, Marc Jacobs, and Sephora. Majority of Arnault's wealth, however, comes from his massive stake in Christian Dior SE. Though trained as an engineer, Arnault's business tendencies became apparent while working for his father's construction company, Ferret Savenel, which he took control of in 1971. He later converted the company to a real estate company and named it Farinel Inc. in 1979. He remained chair for another 6 years until he acquired and reorganized luxury goods maker Financière Agaché in 1984 and eventually sold all of his holdings other than Christian Dior and Le Bon Marché. He was invited to invest in LVMH in 1987 and became the majority shareholder, chair of the board, and CEO of the company 2 years later. 2. Jeff Bezos, $187 billion. At spot number 2 is Jeff Bezos, founder and executive chair of Amazon. With a net worth of $187 billion at 58, this young billionaire has been successful in investment and wealth creation. He also has other assets in Blue Origin, The Washington Post, and $16.1 billion in cash. Jeff Bezos founded Amazon in 1994 in a garage after he resigned from the hedge fund giant D.E. Shaw, to whom he had previously pitched the idea of an online bookstore but was met with resistance. Amazon.com started off by selling books, but has since turned into a multi-purpose online store with anything and everything from clothes to kitchenware and gifts. It is currently the biggest retailer in the world, an idea that was once pushed aside by his former boss. Before we move on to number 1, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and click the bell. That way you'll be the first to see our next luxury video. Number 1, Elon Musk, $269 billion. We know you waited for this one. Topping our list as the richest man on the earth is Tesla CEO and co-founder Elon Musk. This 50-year-old Texas resident has a net worth of a whopping $269 billion. He owns 18% of Tesla shares as well as other assets, such as space exploration technologies. In 2004, Musk became a major funder of Tesla Motors, now Tesla, which led to him being retroactively declared a co-founder and his current position as CEO of the electric vehicle company. Click the video on the screen to see another luxury video.